We're also here to announce a new technology and a new tool that we've been investigating for several months now, and that we're going to be deploying by the end of next month, or we're working towards deploy it by the end of next month. And that's license plate readers, commonly known as LPRs. This is the next step in the adoption of new technology by law enforcement here in the city of Providence. As you know, long ago, the city adopted the use of tasers that can be used to subdue a suspect without having to use deadly force. Several years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, we were the first police department in the state to adopt the use of body-worn cameras. And there are a couple of police departments in the state that have already instituted the use of license plate readers, and Providence will soon be deploying those as well. With respect to license plate readers, we've consulted with several other jurisdictions and with professionals in the field, and they rave about this technology. Nationally, about 70% of crimes involve a vehicle. It involves a car. So most people who commit a crime, and especially a violent crime, are using a vehicle. What license plate readers allow us to do is to not only capture license plates of cars that have been involved, but also be notified when that same car pops up somewhere else. Over the coming weeks, we will be, of course, sharing our policy and how we're going to deploy this. In every city that they've been deployed throughout the country, there have been concerns raised or issues raised with respect to civil liberties issues. And so we're going to be out front and upfront adopting best practices that have been developed in other jurisdictions. And we'll let folks know exactly how they're going to be used so as to prevent and even eliminate those concerns that could potentially be raised.
Can I ask about the LPR? What is the, how are we going to be creating the rules for that? What is the process for that?
Sure. Real quick, we will develop a strict policy and go to school on other jurisdictions, both locally and nationally, who've deployed and employed LPRs. But we're still going through that process. But we'll make sure we'll have a policy, and I can guarantee you there will be audits on a short basis, and the proof will be in the pudding. These will be used for criminal events only.
The ACLU has criticized Cranston in the past for not having public input and not having legislative input into the final rules, and I was wondering what you thought about that.
Sure. So as we develop the policy, all our policies are online. So they're obviously available to anyone that wants to come and look at our policy and also opine and give recommendations. So we know it's really important that we get it right. Look, these are in major cities across the country. We don't have to re-establish the rules of engagement. We're going to follow the best practices. So people's concerns about their privacy are protected. This is for crime and connecting vehicles with other crimes. We've seen in 2 jurisdictions here in this state, it is a great tool for law enforcement, and we know other major cities in this country have deployed it, and it's going to have a big impact on our ability to solve crimes going forward.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
So you're going to go through a process of RFPs and stuff like that, as to how who you're going to work with.
Yeah, when we procure this service, we'll go through the procurement services when we engage in a contract. We have a pilot program right now that this is what we're trying to launch in the next 3 to 4 weeks. So it's not costing the city anything. It's a pilot program. It's for 12 months, but it's limited in the number of devices that they're going to put in the city. But as we go through that process and see I believe the absolute positive effect on public safety, then we'll be seeking for a permanent agreement where the city engages in a contract, but that is in the future.
You don't know how many cameras? Can you say at least so many or no more than so many?
Well, you can put as many cameras if you want to pay for them, obviously, but beginning, it'll be about a couple dozen devices that read plates. But that is no cost to the city, and it's for 12 months.